just to put it into a bag with holes.
So that's basically you living check to check, brother. Is that not a curse? Is that not a curse about people living in this projects right now on Main and Maynard, living check to check, living off the government? Let's look at the so-called rich people. Give me Revelations 3:17. Let's look and see if the rich have it that much better. Let's see if the Oprah Winfreys have it that much better. And all these NFL players, do they have it that much better? Read.
Revelations chapter 3 verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich.
Because they say that they what?
I am rich and increased with goods.
So you have people like Floyd Mayweather, they got everything in the world. They got money out the wazoo when he made $1 billion in his career. But what they said, what the Bible say about that?
And have need of nothing.
He don't need nothing. He don't need nothing. He got everything, right? This is the rich. Read on.
And knowest not that thou art wretched.
They are wretched. They are miserable. Read on. Because you're rich. Why are you miserable? Because you don't follow none of these laws. Read on.
And miserable.
Oh, there it is.
And poor.
And why are they poor? They're poor of spirit. They have no spirit. They have no laws. They're not keeping nothing. That's why they're poor of spirit. Read on.
And blind.
They blind. They don't even know who they are. They don't see themselves. They don't even see their people anymore after they make that certain amount of money. That's why they say, oh, you too good for the hood. You don't come back to the hood. Why? They turn their back on you once they make that money. That's why they blind. Read on.
And naked.
They naked. It keeps no laws. That's it. Go back to 17.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
So let's look at the fruit of thy body. Let's go to, was it Jeremiah 8:10? Let's see what it means to be cursed by the fruit of thy body. Because you got to understand what that means as far as going into our children. This is the fruit of our body. They're cursed as well for not keeping these laws. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 10. Therefore will I give their wives unto others.
They did what? This is something that happened in slavery, is that not? Our wives are taken from us and given to others. Read on.
And their fields to them that shall inherit them.
So the fields were given to somebody else that inherited them. The so-called white man inherited our fields, inherited our land, inherited Jerusalem. Read on.
For every one from the least even unto the greatest is given to covetousness.
Given to what?
To covetousness.
That's given to wanting what everybody else had. This is the sin that we was in. That's the reason why we got hit with that curse. Do you understand, sister? Did that confuse you?
What did you say?
Read it again.
Therefore will I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them.
So our land was given to other people. The fields that God gave us was given to another people. But it is a reason why we had went into these curses, this particular curse.
For every one from the least even unto the greatest is given to covetousness.
Given to what?
Covetousness.
You know what covetousness is? That's like, I would do anything to get what you have. Like, these pastors out here would sleep with these the congregations, husbands and wives. That's covetous. That's a covetous spirit. Read on.
From the prophet even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely.
Wait a second. We have churches on every corner. Is that not happening today? Read that again.
From the prophet even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely.
Dealeth falsely. They deal falsely with you. They tell you that it's tithes. When they tell you all laws are done away with, but they ask you for tithes. Is that dealing falsely with you? That's stealing your damn money.
That's taking money.
That's taking your money. Am I right? Go back. Let's go to... Oh, that was 30, verse 30.
Verse 30. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
So this was exactly what I just went over. That was a curse. And that was the result of the curse. He explained why I gave you that curse. Read on.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard.
So we planted vineyards of tobacco. We planted vineyards of cotton. But what
I want to get off from that,
do we
bro.
reap any benefits of it?
Hey, bird.
And shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
So you said, okay, stop right there. You said that you're Israelite earlier. So come closer. Don't be shy. Come on. So you said you're in Israel. I'm not going. Hey, listen. Let's go to some things that we must do. All right, give me 10 and 12. Let's address it. All praises. I'm glad you know. And lo and behold, some of them which you are following. All praises. But let's get it out the Bible.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What's your name, sis? Zipporah. He said this again. Read it again. He said, Zipporah.
Now, Israel,
Now, Zipporah.
what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
What does the Lord thy God, Zipporah, require of you?
I know that.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
To fear the Lord thy God. How do we fear the Lord thy God? How do we know that we fear the Lord thy God?
In all his ways.
Because we're walking in all his ways.
Take a look at him,
And
Philly.
to love him. And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord.
That's how we show love. You know, people say, I love Jesus. Jesus loved me. That's not true if you're not keeping no commandments.
That's right.
You understand? We on that?
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So, now that we got, you know you're Israelite, and you know there's something you got to do. Let's get a law that you must hold. Give me 1538, Numbers. So, we're trying to get you to retool your mind and repent and come back to these laws. So you can teach your children. You have children? So you can go teach your children this is what they do. Because it's supposed to be on throughout our generation. As long as we generate, we're supposed to keep in these laws. Come on. You got it?
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel,
Speaking to you, Zipporah.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
So, fringes on the border of our garments. So you see on all these brothers' garments, even the garment he has, and the sister over there, you see the sister right there? On the border of her dress, she has fringes. Read on.
Throughout their generations.
Just for right now.
Throughout their generations.
So as long as you're generating, this has to happen.
That's right.
You understand? Read on.
And they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So you see right here, it doesn't matter what color blue we have, but it has to be a ribbon of blue. You understand? Okay. Read on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe,
Why?
that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So let's think about that for a second. All the commandments and do them. Let's just say you had a long, one lustful night. You married? Okay, so I'm gonna take this for an example because I'm married as well. Let's just say for myself, I got enticed by a woman, and I'm about to lay down with this woman, and the first thing I grab is what? My fringe. To do what? Remind me not to break that commandment. You understand? That's what it's here for. So if you got your kids, you got small children, and they go like the young man here, he goes into a store and his friends are stealing stuff, and he goes to steal it and put it in his pocket. What's he gonna grab?
Bring it out.
His fringes, and that's gonna remind him to do what? All praise. That's what it's here for. Come on.
And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring.
So even if I sat back and I'm looking back and I'm like, dang, that's just the bad. They coming, because you see sisters out here all immodest out here with biker shorts on, with pants on, all no order. But in our lustful mind, we start thinking like, damn, you know what I would do. But then I have this fringe on, I grab my fringe, or I look down and point it. I remember, you know what? I'm gonna hate my sister the way I'm thinking about her like that.
That's right.
You understand? Read on.
That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
And also being holy to your God, how did the soldier earlier be able to point out, behold, there's an Israelite? Why? Because you're set apart. You're going to look different. You're dressing different. And because it is, your mind is going to be different. You understand? Read on.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God.
So Zipporah, the God of this Bible, is your God. You understand that? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is your God.
That's right.
Not no Krishna, not no wicked Islam. This is the Lord your God. Let's go back to the curses. Let's go to 64. Let's prove that.
Wait a minute, before you say that, why
Yes.
do you say, why do you call Islam wicked? Because
Give me Psalms 96 and 5. Let me explain that right now. I understand. I understand. I'll get that to you.
Psalms chapter 96 verse 5.
Come on.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Or what?
Are idols.
They fake.
That's right.
Because Islam is fake. It's a made-up God. You understand? Did you know that Islam came 700 years after the death of Christ? That, see? So that's a new religion. Okay. So who is the God of Islam? Who's Islam for? Are they for you? Is they for you? That's the God of who? Don't me Deuteronomy 28:64. That's the God of what people? What? When you read the Quran, what language is it written in? So who is the God of who? Arabic people. So that's not your God. Your God is the God of Israel.
That's right.
All they did was plagiarize and carbon copy our book. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 28:64.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So, in the sub-Saharan slave trade, we got sold to the Arabs. You understand? So this is where we picked up the Islam religion. Because we got scattered into the sub-Saharan, into those nations. Read on.
From one end of the earth even unto the other.
Come on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
You should do what?
Serve other gods,
Of what?
which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So our forefathers have never known these gods. We only know the God of Israel. You understand? Read on.
Even wood and stone.
So, what God of wood nowadays that we serve? Think about it. Wood. What God? No. You might serve one God, but what did people bow down to that's made of wood? What's the idol?
Money?
No, what's the wooden idol?
Oh, the cross.
The what?
The cross.
The cross. So read it again.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So now the stone. What stone do we worship that our fathers never known? We were just talking about it. They make a pilgrimage around it.
In Mecca.
The Kaaba stone. You're exactly right. Our forefathers never knew that God. That's not our God. When we just read in the enemies, that's one of our enemies. So why would we follow a God that's of our enemies? Is that not a curse I just read? Read it again from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So we were scattered in slave trades. Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Okay, and now the officer is going to give us the definition of an Ishmaelite. That's the forefathers of the Arabs. Read on.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ishmaelite, a descendant of Ishmael, the son of Abraham and Hagar. The 12 sons of Ishmael and his Egyptian wife became princes and progenitors of as many tribes. The word is apparently used in the Old Testament in a wider sense, referring to the nomadic tribes of northern Arabia. Generally, all Arabs following Muhammad's example claim descendants from Ishmael.
There's your descendants of Ishmael right there. Do you understand? That's not your God. That's not your people. They might claim it because they plagiarized. Anybody has Babylon and Timbuktu? No?
Yeah, I got it.
Because these are not our people. You understand? We got to cut that doctrine. Because I know they say Allah and they drag our people into that. We have Farrakhan. They can't even speak Arabic. They can't read it. They got Arabic on the top of their temple. They can't read it. Because it's not there. It's not for them. It's a book. Because we're scholars. These are Bible scholars. So everything, we like to have this Bible and back it up. So everybody can understand. This is a book called Babylon and Timbuktu. Read that. It's
Got a store named Timbuktu.
all praises. So this is what? Read.
Muhammad tried to construct his religion as closely as he could after the Jewish religion.
After what religion?
The Jewish religion.
Think. They got Ramadan, right? That's 1 month. But where did they get that from? Give me Leviticus 23. So let's find out where they got their Ramadan from. That sacred act where they try to atone for their sins. Where did they get that from? Because you just read the Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion, right? Let's read.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27. Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month shall there be a day of atonement.
That's where he got Ramadan from. You understand?
Reiterate that, what you say.
By Day of Atonement, read it again.
Also, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So, they afflict their souls. That means they fast for that entire day, for that month. But they got that law from us. We're going to continue reading the Babylon and Timbuktu. Hold that for you, brother. I don't want you struggling. All right, finish that out. That paragraph.
He favored the Jews by accepting many of their laws and traditions.
Can we just now read a law and a tradition that we did? Read on.
When the Jews refused to be converted,
So we said, hell no, we're not following no Islam.
he commanded his followers to stop turning to the holy city of Jerusalem.
To stop doing what? But guess what they do right now, though? What do they pray to?
Bring it out.
What do they pray to? Well, no, where do they pray to?
Oh, the Mecca, they pray to the,
Okay, read it.
In prayer, but rather to turn to the city of Mecca. He changed the Jewish Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, or fast day, which he had accepted for the month of Ramadan.
For what?
The month of Ramadan.
Hey, I'm in the spirit because I didn't even think that. I forgot that was in the book. But dude, I just showed you right then where he got Ramadan from. So they took our custom. Everybody's take swag. What they say, swagger jacket? That's what they say. I don't know if I'm out there element, but they take our customs and use it against us.
That's right.
You understand? Even our dress code, they use it against us.
it's the way to keep us separated.
Didn't I just say our enemies make a tumult and they confederate against us? So they're using everything they can against us to hide us.
That's
Now,
right.
what was that word that you say? Convulsions?
As covetous. Covetous, because now we want to be like them instead of them trying to be like us. You know?
Muhammad changed the Jewish Sabbath from Saturday to Friday.
What is that? Is that not plagiarism? We're reading it firsthand. Let's go.
In the 4th century, the church changed the Sabbath to Sunday.
What did the wicked Christian church do?
Changed the Sabbath to Sunday.
So this is why y'all on Saturday, the Sabbath day, breaking God's laws. Read it again.
In the 4th century, the church changed the Sabbath to Sunday and reorganized its calendar to make Easter separate of Passover.
So Easter got nothing to do with the Bible. They took Easter and take over our Passover. They took.
So what's the correlation then between Easter and Passover? How did they switch that around?
Read it again.
and reorganized its calendar to make Easter separate of Passover.
They took Easter, which is a pagan god. There's another nation's god. And they try to serve it over our Passover. Just like they do Christmas over our Feast of Dedication. You understand? So they try to keep you hiding. So you in here following these pagan holidays instead of Most High's holy days.
Right.
Get that? What's Easter in the Bible? That one?
Hey, Shalom, sister. I'm gonna expound a little bit on what the brother is explaining, because you mentioned about Islam.
It might be too late now.
I'm gonna actually read to you out of the Quran everything that brother just said. Okay, give me 10 Surah Ayat 94. 10.94. So what you gotta understand is that everything that we have or what makes us who we are, other nations they copy it and they try to say that it's from them. Like he mentioned, Islam didn't come until 622 years after Christ. Okay? So now what I'm going to read to you right now, this is a conversation between Muhammad and the angel Jibril, or the angel Gabriel. The way that supposedly how Muhammad got Islam was it was supposedly given to him by way of this angel Gabriel. Now I want you to listen very closely to the conversation that they're about to have. Read.
Surah 10:94. If you were in doubt and about what we have revealed to you.
So here's the problem. When Muhammad was first given the message of the Quran, it didn't catch on right away. Because the information that he was given, it wasn't new information, just like he read to you already. There was already some information around that he copied from. So as he's trying to teach it and as he's trying to spread the message, nobody was catching on. So he started to doubt what was actually given to him in the first place. So now the angel says, if you're ever in any doubt,
Then ask those who have been reading the book from before you.
So now the angel Jibril gives him some very, very specific advice. He say, listen, if you're ever in doubt about anything that we're trying to show you, you need to consider reading the book that was before you. So already we understand that the Quran could not be the original book if in the Quran itself it says that there was a book that came before you. You see what I'm saying? Not only that, the question is, what is this book? What is this magical book? It's going to tell you. Now give me the third surah, ayat 50. Third surah, ayat 50. It's going to be 3.50. It's going to tell you literally. The thing about it is, the same way with the Bible. You don't have to have extra biblical sources to confirm what the Bible already says, because the Bible can back itself up. But the Quran does the same thing, though. Watch what it says.
But you know, it's hard to decipher the Bible because all those words, when I read the Bible, I have a hard...
We'll see. I'm going to give you a scripture. And I'm going to allow you to tell me what it means to show you. It's not that hard to read the Bible. The problem is that we have a preconceived notion of what the Bible says because it's been taught to us incorrectly for so long. So we think that what it says, but then when we actually get the correct understanding, well, it's too hard. Nah, it's not. But let's find out what this book was that came before the Quran. Read.
Surah 350. And I have come to you confirming Torah.
Confirming what?
Torah.
What? Do you know what the Torah is? Huh, okay. So the book that came before this was called the what?
Torah, which was before me.
Jump up to 48.
Verse 48. And will teach him the book and wisdom, the Torah, the Torah and Bible, the gospel.
This is mentioned in the Quran, sister. You see that? See, here's the thing. See, in the Bible, we have what's known as chapters and verses, right? In the Quran, they have what's called surahs and ayats. Had you ever heard that before?
Surahs and ayat?
Yes.
What is that?
You got your, go to Google for me. Type in Surah Academy. The word surah comes from a city. The city was in Iraq. Iraq. In the city of Surah was something known as the Surah Academy. Farrakhan.
So if he reads the Quran, he knows about it. So why does he...
Well, no, here's the thing. He knows what the Quran says. He openly admits that we are the children of Israel. Because that's what the Quran says. But the problem is, and I think the reason why he won't recant what he says is because he's had a long career of teaching nonsense. And he now realizes he has a multitude of followers that he's convinced to believe this. But the problem is we don't actually read. We don't read that too, but we don't actually read books. The same with the Bible. If you open the book up and read it for yourself, then you'll automatically learn what it's really talking about. You'll learn that Christ is a black man and won't just hang on to the idea that he's a so-called white man. The same with the Quran. All you have to do is read it, like we just read to you and found out in the Quran that there was a book that came before it. So now, this is what the Surah Academy is. I want you to read everything that's on that page. The Surah Academy was in the city of Surah, just like the surahs of the Quran. Read this.
Surah Academy was a Jewish yeshiva in Babylonia.
It says it was a Jewish yeshiva. Now, why is the Surah Academy, supposedly Arabic, saying that it was a Jewish yeshiva?
What is a yeshiva?
I'm very glad you asked. A yeshiva would be. No, I'm glad you're paying attention. And I'm very glad you're paying attention because that's the way you get the understanding. If you don't understand something, you have to ask.
But see, and you know, I haven't, like I said, I was raised into this, born into it 33 years ago. But you know, I don't speak nothing to them like I'm supposed to. You know, I don't even read the Bible. But you know, every once in a while, I pick up my prayer. You know, I pick up my book and read Psalms, you know, prayers or whatever.
Oh no, we're gonna deal with that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let the soldier finish out. But I wanted to make sure that you have the correct understanding because what we don't want is for any of our brothers and sisters to be lost in the nonsense of Islam.
That's right.
Because I'm gonna prove to you before we finish that everything that Islam believes literally comes from the Bible. So now, what we're dealing with is the Surah Academy. The yeshiva is it would be what we would modern day call like a college or institution. So in the city of Surah was the Surah Academy. In the Surah Academy, they were teaching. See this thing. The word Quran, it means recitation. But we never expound on why it's called recitation. It's because, like he just proved in the book Babylon the 10th book 2, Muhammad, we already know he was illiterate. But all of the Arabs in that region were also illiterate. In the Surah Academy, they were learning to recite the Bible. That's why the word is called the Quran. Because they were in a Jewish school learning the Bible. Here's the proof. Give me 5th Surah, Ayat 3. I want you to listen to this part right here very, very carefully. And we're going to go to the Bible next. 5th Surah, Ayat 3.
Fifth Surah, Ayat 3. Forbidding to you for food.
Okay, so now, Islam or the Muslims, they have a specific diet that they're supposed to be eating, right? Okay, so forbidden to them for food. What's something that's forbidden to them for food? Or dead meat. So one thing that's forbidden for them to eat is something dead meat. Let's get that in the Bible. Give me, I think that's Leviticus 22 and verse 8. I'm finna show you something because they have a food law. But what I'm showing you is that in the Quran, it already said that there was a book that came before you.
Right.
That's why when you look at Islam and Christianity, they're closely linked together because Islam got its belief system from the Bible.
I thought it was close to Israel.
What do you mean?
As far as Islam.
No, I'm talking about the beliefs, the customs, what they do, why they do it. So it said forbidden to you is for food is one thing you should not eat dead meat. Leviticus 22 and verse 8.
Don't we all eat dead meat?
That's a very good question, but it's a specific type of dead meat. So like if we kill a chicken, you eat that chicken, but you're not gonna go eat no roadkill. There's a difference between dead meat. So when it's talking about don't eat dead meat, it's talking about an animal that dies of itself. Not because you kill it to make it chicken or whatever case may be. It's because it dies of itself. But let's see what the Bible says.
Leviticus chapter 22 verse 8. That which dieth of itself or is torn with beasts, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith.
So now go back to the Quran. So it said one of the things they weren't supposed to eat was dead meat, right? But where did they get it from? We just read they got it from the Bible. Let's find out what else they're not supposed to eat. Read.
Blood.
Okay. Give me that in the Bible, Leviticus chapter 7. I'm going to show you how they make the close correlation between the two. They took from the Bible and then they took it as their own custom. Read.
Leviticus chapter 17 verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel or of
7:26. 7:26.
Leviticus chapter 7, verse 26. Moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood.
So wait, so the Quran just said that you shouldn't do it. Where did they got it from? They got it from the Bible. Let's get one more. Read this one, the very last one in the Quran. Stay with me. Very last thing, 5 and 3. Right? And then now, read that.
The flesh of swine.
So now in the Quran, they have you're not supposed to be eating the flesh of swine. Where did they get that from? It's in the Bible. Let's find out where in the Bible they got it from. Read. We're getting a biblical workout today, bro. Come on.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So what we did was just show you 3 things that was part of their food law that they were not supposed to be eating, but they got it from the Bible.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you want come on back up, bro.
So
What?
are we allowed to eat like cow feet and stuff like that?
Let's go to finish
Can
that up.
we eat that?
So like the like the officer was bringing out, all of the laws that Islam have, they actually got from the Bible. Now watch this. He was just going over the food laws, right? Watch this. Now we're back here in the Quran. Watch this. Read what you got.
All food was lawful to the children of Israel before the Torah was revealed.
See that? All food was lawful until we got God's laws. Then God gave us the laws on what was clean and what was unclean. So all the dietary laws, which is why the dietary laws on what you were supposed to eat, they got it from us. So when they say, hey, that a lot of times they don't eat swine. Why not? Because the law said because the Bible said the children of Israel weren't supposed to eat the swine. It was unclean to them. And so Muhammad, being around the Israelites, picked that up. So he just plagiarized. You know, a lot of times when you go to the mosque, you see the sisters all dressed in, they got their heads covered and things like that. Where do you think they get that from? Right here. When you go to 1 Corinthians 11.
So what was the purpose of the separation?
Because they wicked. We got God's laws are perfect. The laws weren't given to them. It was only given to the children of Israel. Watch this. Matter of fact, get that. Psalm 147:19. Watch this. So even so-called Christianity, all these other nations that run around here trying to take our book and try to teach it to us, no one should know your history better than you. This book was given to us, so we should know it better than them. The Most High only spoke through the prophets, which were Israelites. Watch this. Read.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
So he showed his word unto Jacob, the 12 tribes right here. This is Jacob. His name was changed to Israel. Read.
His statutes and his judgments.
So he showed us all his statutes and all the judgments. Come on.
Unto Israel.
Unto who?
Israel.
Come on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He hasn't given these laws, statutes, commandments to any other nation on the face of the earth. Any other nation. So to have another nation come and try to teach you about this book, you should look at them like they crazy.
That's right.
Joe Osteen and what's the white lady's name? Joyce Myers. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They have no business trying to teach us about God's laws because the laws weren't given to them. And then just the nature of people that they are. How the hell are you going to come over here and teach about love and not kill and not steal when that's what they did? They broke every commandment in this Bible to get this place, America, today. So how you going to come tell me not to kill and steal when you did everything that the Bible said not to do to get where you are today? Come on back, bro.
So, you said something earlier that about understanding the Bible. Give me Psalms 110 about the fear of the Lord, so we can get a full understanding on how to understand this Bible. You know.
Psalms chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So to start to understand this Bible, you have to fear the Lord. Meaning what? You have to do what?
Follow his commandments.
All praises, sister. Keep the commandments. Read on.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
So to understanding this Bible and the things that have been said in it, you have to start doing His commandments, just as you said. You understand that, brother, young brother? Y'all come close. Y'all ain't got to sit back. Come on. Come ask questions. So, hey, go to Isaiah 28. Well, you got a question?
I'm gonna say, even though I don't follow all the commandments fully, I still feel the Most High.
How do you fear the Most High? But you just read right then that, read it again. Hold on, go back.
If I do something that I know that I should not be doing, or if I did something bad, I have that, I don't know how to explain it, it's just that feeling.
But how do you know that you're in the midst of...
I mean, if I know the Ten Commandments,
Give me Romans 7:7. So I'm gonna expound on what you're saying. But this one...
it's like I know better. If I've been taught better, I know better.
But let's see what the Bible says.
Romans chapter 7, verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sins? God forbid.
So people say that the law has been done away with. So is the law sin? He said, hell no. Read on.
Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law.
So Paul did not know what sin was until he read the actual laws. So yeah, I might know thou shalt not kill because you heard it from somewhere. Somebody told you that law. Because if you came out the womb and nobody told you anything to do or any direction, you've been sticking your fingers in sockets and putting your hand on the stove until somebody said, no, don't do that. Read on.
For I had not known lust,
So he never known lust of a woman until when?
except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
So he didn't know lust until he saw the sin, thou shalt not covet. Give me Isaiah 28:10 before the next teacher comes up. So this is another expounding into understanding this Bible. King James Bible says. It's the same Bible that was probably sitting on your desk over there. It's the King James Version. Let's read.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9.
Bring it up.
Who shall he teach knowledge?
So who shall he teach knowledge? Who shall he teach knowledge of who you are? Who shall he teach knowledge that the Messiah is a black man? Who's going to teach you that knowledge? Read on.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
So how are you going to start understanding these laws that we're coming out with? How are you going to understand about having your head covered when the law's coming out? The fringes on your garments. Who's going to do that for you, bud?
Them that are weaned from the milk.
Those who are doing the basic things that in the Bible that says to do. You say you don't do all of them. But as you learn these laws, you need to start applying them to your life. You understand? Keep reading.
And drawn from the breast.
So who's drawn from the breast? What did Christ say to do to be born again? John 3:3 real quick.
John chapter 3, verse 3.
Come on.
Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God.
So that's when they said, go back to that verse again.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
So those who are grown from being babies in this truth, because it says you have to be born again as newborn babies. You understand? Read on.
For precept must be upon precept.
So law must be upon law.
Precept upon precept. Line upon line.
So what you're reading in the Bible, you might can read it up a few lines above, or a chapter above, or a chapter below. You know, the sentence below.
Line upon line. Here a little.
So here a little in the Old Testament,
and there a little.
and there a little in the New Testament, because they add up together. So you might find something in the Old Testament that goes with the New, and it makes a thought complete. You understand? Read on.
For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people.
So I'm gonna close this out. Well, that's basically saying if we're in different lands, like we're in America, right? What do we speak? So we didn't speak the language that was originally texted in this book. I don't want to get too deep, but I'm just gonna explain this real quick. And so if I was in China, and if I had this book, it'd be in what?
It's being Chinese. I mean, whatever language they speak.
But it's for who?
For the Chinese.
No. Who's this book for?
Oh, it's for us.
So us that read this book in Chinese, that's who he's talking about. So we're gonna bring out the next teacher, the next reader. Sons of God. Page 6, saints. Sons of God. Next reader, next teacher.
At ease. So what the brother was bringing out is, the brother bringing out all of the things in the minds of our people, like you mentioned about Muslim. A lot of our people don't know that. The sister over there asking what book we reading, because it sounds new to her. This book is in every hotel. This book is in everybody grandma's house. This book is in every church. But nobody got the real understanding of it. That's why he said, whom shall he teach knowledge? Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? You understand? That's what we out here to do. The scriptures say wisdom crieth in the streets, not in the church, not in these people little temples. You understand? Wisdom out here crying in the streets. We out here because we love our people. That's why we out here. Give me that.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So it's a commandment for us to seek out of this Bible and read the words in the Bible. You understand? Because all the words in this Bible, it pertains to us. It's nothing special on earth, more to the black man, more to the Hispanic man, more to the Native American man and woman than the words in this Bible. You understand? This is our power on earth.
That's right. No one of these shall fail.
So he say, seek out of the book of the Lord and read. None of these shall fail. The these is the prophecies in this book. You understand? Because it was prophesied the estate that the children of Israel would be in the last days. You keep hearing that. We in the last days. We in the last days. Christ coming back soon. But our people, they hear that and they think that that's not true. You understand? Because they don't know that a day to us, a day to the Most High is like 1,000 years. You understand? That's why he giving us grace now. We got time to prepare ourselves. That's why we out here. We out here to show our people and tell them that even though they are in sin, they got time to correct it, right? So he said, seek out of the book of the Lord and read. Because in our reading and understanding, we going to know what we got to do to get ourselves right. And we know that the time is coming to a conclusion. You understand? Read that.
None shall want her mate.
So he just told you that it ain't no other book in the Bible that need a mate. The Quran told you to reference the Bible, reference that which was before it, reference the Torah. The Bible don't need a reference. The Bible explains itself. That's why it said precept got to be upon precept. You got to go here, you got to go there. You can't just be in the New Testament. You got to read the Old Testament. You understand? You can't read the Old Testament. You got to read the Apocrypha too. You got to read all of the stuff that was taken out of the Bible. That book was taken out of the Bible during slavery. Exactly. Finish that.
For my mouth has commanded.
Listen, give me Colossians 3 and 8. Because they have mixed us up. You understand? That's why Isaiah 34, it says, seek out of the book of the Lord and read. None of the prophecies was gonna fail, right? This was Christ. Christ was telling us that something was gonna happen in the future, right? And he was warning us. Read that.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 8. But now ye also put. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware.
So you see a sign and it says beware dog, right? What does that mean?
It means beware of a dog.
That means it's dangerous, right?
Dangerous, yeah.
All right, read.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So earlier you said that the Bible would have all these words and it's hard to be understood. No, it's not. It's easy to be understood. These people dumbing us down. You understand? We trusting in they teaching our kids and they say, okay, yeah, your child, he failed the test, but then they bump in the 4th grade. And the 4th grade teacher bump in the 5th grade. That's why the Bible hard to be understood. Because the public school system is destroying the minds of our children. You understand? Now we adult men reading that like 2nd grade level. You understand? So read that. Finish that.
After the traditions of men. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So he said, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. So he's saying it's dangerous, you understand? Because some man gonna come and he gonna come with his own thoughts, right? And he gonna ruin you with the thoughts. He gonna spoil you with the thoughts, right? So he said, warning, be careful of that man. You understand? Who did that? Who did that? When somebody came, that's under this sign right there. When somebody came and they gave you that right there, they gave you this in slavery, they spoiled you, you understand? Because you can't take a nation of kings. You can't take a nation of priests and bring them into subjection, right? You got to destroy them. You got to make them forget that they are kings, that they are the rulers of the earth. How you gonna destroy a person like? The only way you can be comfortable is for somebody to be uncomfortable. Our people are hella uncomfortable out here. All we got is the hood. That's it. And this don't even belong to us. You understand? So he said, beware, because you're gonna be spoiled. Somebody gonna come and they're gonna try to destroy your mind, right? That's what Deuteronomy 28:48 is talking about. He said, once the chain take off your neck, then you will be destroyed. And then it's not talking about physical, because we out here walking around. We're not physically destroyed. Mentally as a people, we don't got no sense. Mentally as a people, we destroyed spiritually. Read that.
After the tradition of men.
So after the tradition of men, a white man, all these other nations, these other men, they told us that Christ looked like them. They painted themselves as God, and they made us worship them. That's why these people got blonde hair in their head. Because they worship the so-called white man. They're not going to say it with their mouth. They're going to say, I love God with my mouth. But to love God means to rock your natural hair. If you love God, then rock your natural hair. God said he made beauty in his image.
That's right.
How you got the white man hair in your head and you say you love God? You understand? He said we was going to be spoiled. Now these people walk around here and they happy. They see a black woman with blonde hair in her head, they know, yeah, we still got them niggas. They see a man walk around with a cross on his neck, yup, we still got them niggas. We see somebody with a cross on their neck, we still got them niggas.
That's right.
We are here to bring it back to remembrance.
That's right.
Because the curse was that the Israelites would cease, the remembrance would cease among all men.
That's
We wouldn't know anymore. That's why the scriptures say we're going to cry in the streets. We're going to bring it back to the remembrance of our people. Read.
After the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
Because you said Muslim, Allah, that's not after Christ.
Right.
That is not the spirit Christ was walking in for us to worship an idol.
Right.
You understand? That was something that's new. Give me Deuteronomy 32:17.
Bring it out.
Because the problem with our people is we want to dabble with stuff. You understand? And that has happened all over through the scriptures. It happened over and over, repeatedly. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 17.
Bring it out.
They sacrificed unto devils.
So that's what they doing. You understand? Our people don't have a clue what they really serving. You understand? They worship, but they don't know what they worshiping. They don't know that. They sacrificing unto a devil. Read.
Not to God.
They're not sacrificing to God. They think they're worshiping God, but they're not worshiping God. You understand? To worship God means to keep his commandments. To worship God means for a man to put a beard on his face. To worship God means for a man to instruct his children. You understand? Because if you instruct your children, you grieve your enemy. You understand? When you go out here and tell these black men, these young men, that they not just niggas. You understand? They are a prince that have a power with God. They're not just black. That's a color. When you tell them that, you understand? That grieve the enemy. That's why we out here. Because that's rising up our nation, and that's destroying our enemy. You understand?
They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not.
Because Abraham didn't know Allah.
That's right.
Abraham didn't read the Quran. You understand? Those are gods our forefathers did not know. You understand? That was stuff that was given to us. The black man is more of a white supremacist than the so-called white man. You understand? He take whatever he given. You understand? The white man give you a white Christ, he just take it. Why? Because you destroy it. You're mentally destroyed. You don't have anything to actually justify why you believe that. You just believe that because your mind has been broken. You understand?
That's right.
Read.
To new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they didn't fear Allah. We didn't fear Krishna. We didn't fear no seven-armed beast. We didn't fear Buddha. There wasn't no God that our forefathers served. You understand? That was something that rose up newly in the earth. But our people don't read that. Give me Revelations 1 and 2.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 2. Revelations chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
The scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth. Blessed is he that can read. You understand? Because in slavery, what was the big deal for us? We couldn't read, right?
Right.
What was the significance behind us reading?
might learn too much.
We might learn something they didn't want us to know, right? So now we out here, we know, you understand? The scriptures say that we blessed now. Now we can read, you understand? Now we can apply. Finish, go back to Isaiah 34 and 16. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So now that we can read, now we gotta search the Bible. You understand? Now we gotta seek out of the book that was given to us. You understand? Read, finish that.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
So none of the prophecies failed. It was prophesied, like the brother said. It was prophesied that the Israelites would be in the lowest state today. It was prophesied that we wouldn't know who we are. All of those things was prophesied. Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 26.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 26.
Bring it out.
I said I would scatter them into corners.
So the Lord said that he would scatter us into corners, right?
Right.
He said that none of the prophecies was going to fail. The black man, the Hispanic man, the Native American man and woman, all of us were scattered into corners. You can find us in Australia. You can find us in China. You can find us in America. You can find us in Haiti. You can find us in the Port of Riches in Puerto Rico. You can find our people everywhere. You understand? That was a prophecy. The Quran don't got that in there. You understand? It's not no prophecy in the Quran that tell our people the condition we will be in the last days. You understand? It don't tell us what we got to do to be redeemed from the captivity that we was placed in. Finish that.
I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Like we said, because the Bible said that we would depart from our heritage. Get that? Because we don't remember no more that we are God's chosen people. We just accept that we was always niggas before 1619. They never give us the history. They just told us that we was dumb Negroes. Africans sold other Africans into slavery. That don't make no sense. You can tell a person that after you chain them to a tree for 300-400 years, and you take a man and make him lie down with his own mom, and then you take his father and rape him in front of the kids. You can tell them stuff like that after you destroyed them. You understand?
Get out.
But before that, they never tell us who we were. Why? Because it's not in their best interest. You understand? Read that.
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So it says shall. That was a future prophecy that was going to happen, right? Because we know that none of the prophecies have failed thus far. None of the prophecies don't fail in the end neither. He said, Jeremiah, you, even yourself, right, shall discontinue from your heritage. The Israelites was going to forget what's a heritage. What is a heritage?
Heritage is your culture.
It's a culture, right? A heritage comes with clothing. It comes with a god. It comes with food. It comes with dress. It comes with a multitude of things. It comes with the land. You understand? Our people don't have none of that. So he said we would discontinue from that, right? Because it was a day when it wasn't like that. It was a day when the black man ruled. It was a day when we had our own land. It was a day when we were a profitable nation. You understand? We prospered as a people. Read that.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So the prophecy was that we would serve our enemies, right? It's people in Israel today, and they saying that they Israelis. They saying that they Jewish. The Lord said that he would cause the Israelites to serve their enemies in the land which they don't know. How you in Israel today acting like you're an Israelite, right? But you're not an Israelite. You don't even call yourself an Israelite. You know you're not an Israelite. It was prophesied that the Israelites would be serving their enemies in a land that they don't know. You understand? That's the prophecy of the Israelites. That's the prophecy that has not failed. You understand? That's why when you can read, you're blessed. Because you know that. You don't have to accept that you're just a Negro. You don't have to expect that you was just a monkey swinging from a vine. You understand? Give me that. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
Because what we out here to do, we out here to show our people who they are. You understand? Our people, they just think that they are nothing. They just been told that they was nothing. Like when I was in school, I learned that black people were Africans, just like everybody else learned. The so-called Negroes are Africans. Hold on. The so-called Negroes were Africans, right? And we was brought here because we could endure the sun well, and that we had green thumbs and we could plant things and cultivate crops. You understand? But that's not true. The Bible said that it was prophesied it would happen to us if we broke the laws of God. Give me that.
Before you make that point, let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
My husband is African. Israel really is Africa. It was formerly known as Eritrea. And a lot of people wonder why there's such a separation.
Are you asking me a question? Hold on, let me bring this out.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.
Bring it out.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So Christ said he knows the works of the Israelites. He knows the tribulation of the Israelites. Who worked more than us?
Bring it out.
We work.
They told
The
us.
Hispanics and us, we work all the time.
Exactly. They told us that we was a low people, that we was so stupid they brought us here and civilized us, right? But you can't take a low people and build the greatest nation on earth. They said America's the greatest nation on earth. You got to take the greatest people to build the greatest nation on earth.
That's right.
And that's what they still doing today. So Christ said, I know thy works, right? Because we the people who are working. We the people who back her every day. We are the people who always been on the bottom. We always been the machine behind America's industry. You understand? Read that.
And I know the blasphemy of them which...
Start from the top. I know thy works.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Tribulation. Because our people, they don't see the similarities between the Bible and today. They just read the Bible like it's just a little fairy tale story. They don't have no real understanding of it. He said, I know thy tribulation, right? It was a time when in America, when America was so-called great, when Negroes was hanging from trees, right? The Bible says, cursed is he that hang from a tree. You understand? We are cursed people. He said he know our tribulation. You in tribulation when you hanging from a tree. You in tribulation when you don't have no education. You at the bottom. You don't have no money. You understand? All you doing is failing. But our people have been comfortable failing. You understand? We are the people that are working. We are the people that are in tribulation. And what?
And poverty.
We are an impoverished people. That's why we got public housing. You understand?
Right.
Our people live in public housing. Our people used to own land. You understand?
Bring it out.
In that book that he was just reading, Babylonian Timbuktu, you should buy it. In the book, if you read it, right, it'll tell you that it was on the west coast of Africa where they picked us up from, so-called Negroes, monkeys, that it was treasured cities, dentists, machinists, ophthalmologists. You understand? We were great people before that. But they telling our kids, like that young man, they telling him that he's just a Negro.
Bring it out.
That he's just black. That's not true. You understand? That's what we out here to do, to tear down that lie. Finish that.
Bring it out.
But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not.
So blasphemy, right? He said, I know thy works. Christ said this. I know thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. How can you be working in tribulation and impoverished but still be rich? It seemed impossible, right?
Right.
That's not true. You understand? That's not true. If you are working, you're in tribulation and you poverty, you understand? The reason why it says we rich, because all of the things, all of the promises in this Bible, it only pertain to us. You understand? Give me that in Romans. What is it? Romans 3? Romans 9? Give me that. Because all the promises in this Bible pertain to us. That's why he told you in Isaiah 27, you have to go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how you get the understanding. So the book won't be hard to understand. You understand? Read that.
Romans chapter 9, verse 3.
Bring it out.
For I could wish that...
I won't, it says, what advantage? Is it? Yeah, Romans 3. Read that.
Romans chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision?
So you can be in tribulation, you can be impoverished, but still be rich. You understand? When you rich, you making profits. You understand? So that's why he said, he asking the question. He said, what advantage then does the Jew have? Right? Because we say we the Jews. Biblically, we can prove it in the Bible. You understand? Not just say we Jewish. We can prove we the Jew. We can prove the Jews is black. We can prove that the Jews were going into slavery. We can prove that all the curses in Deuteronomy and throughout the scriptures can be found as a sign on the Israelites today. We can take it right there in the Bible. You understand? So he said, what advantage then hath the Jew? Right? And what?
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
So he said, oh, what profit is there of circumcision? Right? What profit is there of us being cut off from all the lies that we was taught in this land? What profit is that to us? That's how you rich. You understand? Read.
much every way, chiefly because